everybody. It's the Maurice Brown Show Sports Edition. Playing a little pitch and catch with my nephew, Caleb.
Hey, guys.
He's the next Jerry Rice. Want to show him?
Yeah,
Let's
go.
do it. You're going to love this. Ready, set, go! Let's start the show. Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Maurice Brown Comedy Show Playoff NFL Edition with my main man, Aaron, Too Tall More from San Antonio, Texas, myself in Austin, Texas. How do y'all? So, Aaron, what up, man? What's going on?
I'm doing well, man. How you doing?
I am doing great. This is the best time of the year in the NFL when we get the playoffs started.
Yes,
especially if your team is in.
100%.
Right?
Yes, it is. Yeah. Fortunately for us, both of our teams are in.
Yeah, fortunately for us, both of our teams are in. I got a lot of negativity with my boys. I'm starting to wonder why we even in the thing. But anyway, they're in. I'll take it. We had some crazy games last week too, dude. Lamar Jackson wins 35-10. I mean, they destroyed Cleveland. They're looking now. If there's anybody that's riding high and looking good going into the playoffs, it would have to be Baltimore. Would you not agree?
100% agree with you. I think they're the team right now that if you had to put money on it, the team to make it, especially to the AFC Championship game, and even to upset either the Chiefs or the Bills or whoever they got to go through, I think I put my money on the Ravens.
I'm telling you right now, they are looking like. And then when you think about Lamar Jackson, then you look at Josh Allen, and we're looking at the MVP race because Buffalo's looking good too.
Mm-hmm.
Who's got more pressure to at least make it to the Super Bowl, Lamar Jackson or Josh Allen?
I'm gonna say Lamar.
Okay.
Josh, he has some pressure on him too, because none of them has ever been there. But I'm gonna say Lamar because he's done everything. He has the MVP trophy. He's broke records. Everybody know his talent. The only thing he needs on his resume is that championship. And I think for him to get that monkey off his back and doubters saying he can't do it in the playoffs and all of that, I think he will erase that with a run. Even with Derrick Henry behind me, because he has an MVP season. I believe he has over 40 touchdowns and only 4 or 5 interceptions. That's
not only that, he's got 4,000 yards passing and he's got 900 yards rushing.
That's crazy stats right
there. That's insane. It's insane.
It's insane. And I know people are gonna say, well, he's got Henry in his backyard. He's not helping. I'd be like, majority. Some of the times I'm watching the game in critical situations when they're playing, and he's not in the game. Now, yeah. I'm just saying Henry's not in the game sometimes, but
yeah.
All I'm saying is, regardless of who's behind him, those are crazy. But he's done this before, though, without Henry is the thing. But I think, going back to the original question, he has the most pressure on his back, and if he doesn't, I think he at least has to have. Some people would say Super Bowl, but I believe if he makes it to the AFC Championship game, and he has an excellent game, balls out, and say he's playing the Chiefs or the Bills, and Chiefs or Bills, win on the last drive, throwing a touchdown. I think people would be like, okay, well, Lamar did his part. Right. Defense didn't do that part, but I think he at least has to make it to the championship game.
So as we say that, we welcome to the show Hip Hop Artist Antoine A.S. Stewart. What's up, Stu? What's going on, brother?
What's going on, fellas?
Good to have you aboard. We were talking about who has more pressure on their back in this postseason, Josh Allen or Lamar Jackson, to at least make it to the Super Bowl. In your opinion, who's got more pressure?
I would have to say Lamar because of his accomplishments. I mean, he already got 2 MVPs, working on the third one. I don't think Josh Allen has 0 MVPs. With the team that Lamar has and another megastar and running back that complements him in his system, I think that Lamar has the most pressure on him. Not even just to Super Bowl, of course, but just to win some playoff games. We want to see him look like how he looks in the regular season, in the postseason.
Yes.
And the biggest knock on Lamar Jackson is we've seen a drop off from his postseason play from the regular season. So I think he does have that monkey on his back with the expectations and his play, which in my personal opinion, he should be winning a 3rd MVP this year. And I think from that magnitude, that, in my opinion, puts the pressure that he needs to go Super Bowl or bust at this point.
And let's be real here. He also should be heading to his 3rd Super Bowl, his 3rd winning Super Bowl. He's played that well in the regular season. And for whatever reason, when postseason shows up, he doesn't. And that's the difference between Lamar and Josh. Josh Allen loses to Patrick Mahomes simply because he didn't get the ball last. But he's balling. Like Josh Allen is balling. So, I mean, we understand that Josh is going to bring it in postseason. But he's got the same problem and stigma. Like, he's not getting to the Super Bowl and winning. He's not even beating, the tougher teams in postseason. But he shows up. And Lamar, and that's what I agree. Lamar Jackson's definitely got more pressure on him. Listen, dude, I'd be the last person to say this about Lamar, but if we're being honest, I think he has a choking issue. When the lights are on and bright and it's a big game, outside of the 49er game last year, I'll give him credit, although I think the 49ers beat themselves more than Baltimore beat them. But in big games, he does not typically show up. So he's going to have to step up. I think it's definitely Lamar Jackson. The Lions and the Vikings. This was a game where we thought it was going to be like a shootout maybe. It would come down to maybe the last possession. We were looking for a great game. We did not get a great game. And I would dare say that Sam Darnold didn't show up. Did we see the old Sam Darnold, too tall?
I'm gonna say it was an outlier. I mean, did he play his best game? No. Richardson didn't have a good game. I mean, the team itself didn't have a good game. Now, Donald needs to play better, of course, but I mean, they was going into a hostile environment. Detroit was playing for the #1 seed. I mean, it was a playoff scenario, of course, but I would say it's an outlier. I think he's going to bounce back this week coming up. But I don't think that you could go back and say, oh, this is the old Sam Darnold now. Right. I mean, he played lights out all year, and then he has one bad game. Sam Darnold showing up. I disagree with that. I give him benefit of the doubt. They was in a hostile environment. Detroit is a juggernaut. Some people think they're gonna win the Super Bowl. You know what I'm saying? So Aaron Glenn is doing an excellent job with that defense. He had them boys hunting back there, and Vikings couldn't get the running game going. It just the whole offense was just out of sync. But he got to play better, of course. But I would say it's an outlier. I think he's gonna bounce back next week.
I think, and Stu, I'd love to hear your response to this, but I think we may have seen a blueprint to stop the Vikings, because what the Lions did, they said, we're not going to let you throw to Justin. So you figure it out. And he couldn't. What do you think, Stu?
I think that we did see the old Sam Darnold. Just that game though, like Aaron pointed out, doesn't mean he's going to continue to play that way. He had a bad game, but that was the old Sam Darnold.
It was.
We used to seeing. I mean, he threw. He was 18 for 41 with 166 yards. So he aired it out, like Aaron stated. They couldn't get the running game going with Aaron Jones. Nothing was working for them, and I think we kind of each game is different. You know, you could play one game and make mistakes and make those corrections because, you know, seeing a wounded 49ers team, you know, put up some points on Detroit, you know, with all the injuries we had, you expecting a high-powered Minnesota team to go ahead and match that. But, you know, that's a different game, you know, different game plan, different strategies. They may have fixed some things. But the biggest thing that you pointed out, Mo, is that they shut down Jefferson. That the corner that was shot on him was lights out. And from what I'm seeing is that, you know, they played against each other, you know, in college and stuff like that, or they played on the same team, one of the two. But they were used to each other, so they had that rapport to where you may be a huge star to everybody else, but you still that same guy I remember playing against you. So I got this certain confidence that normal people don't have when they face him. Just because of their, you know, being familiar with each other. But the Lions had an excellent game plan and they executed it to the T. Vikings don't want to see this Detroit team, and as most teams don't want to see this Detroit team in the postseason. But I think Detroit is saying, look, we the big dogs of the division. Get in line. We're gonna show you what time it is. And they did exactly that. And I'm not gonna lie, I was impressed because I thought with, you know, the tough game they had against the 49ers that they were gonna, you know, not have enough in them to play to that level that they played. But I was wrong, man. Them boys came out and got it done. So hats off to the Detroit Lions.
You know, I'm looking at Detroit right now, and I'm trying to kind of, you know, understand how Dan Campbell and that coaching staff is able to cover the massive injuries that they have on defense. I mean, they're literally missing every starter on that side of the ball, and they're still getting it done. I mean, to shut Sam Darnold and the Vikings down, the Lions look like they may be the best team in the league. Like, I think they can play with Kansas City. I don't see anybody beating the Chiefs, but I'm starting to believe in the Lions. Like, they are really good, dude. They are really good. Dan Campbell's got that team believing, and it's just amazing what they're doing over there. Green Bay loses to the Bears 24-22. Jordan Love got hurt in that game, had to go out in the first quarter. Malik Willis came in there, actually almost won the ball game. But the Packers are not playing good football right now. They're playing sloppy, making a lot of mistakes. And we just lost Christian Watson for the season, who's our best receiver. We don't have like a go-to receiver, but he stretches the field. He makes people worry about going up top. I mean, he runs a 4.3 40. So that's a big loss for us going in. We don't have Jair Alexander. He's gone for the year. And we got to go to Philadelphia. Thanks for playing. Anyway, Cincinnati, 19-10 over the Steelers. Now, there's a couple of issues going on here. First of all, there was a comment made today about the Kansas City Chiefs tanking the game to keep the Bengals out. Okay, and my question to you guys is, does anybody feel sorry for the Bengals that they didn't make the playoffs? Too Tall, what do you think about that?
Absolutely not. I was going to say something else, but I held my tongue. Lord said, not at all. But no, I don't not feel sorry for them at all. I mean, it's the grown men playing football. They should have started the season like that.
Yeah,
but they did.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
and they came up short. So no, now if they would have got in, they would have been a scary team to play. They was playing excellent ball. Barrow was playing lights out. I think them couple games Chase was hurt that he missed in the beginning really hurt them. And I think that defense started coming around just a little bit too late for them.
Yeah, it was a little too late. It was a
a
little bit too late.
A little bit too late, but I don't think nobody feels sorry for them. They can go home and watch it on the couch and watch the big boys play.
Yeah. I mean, I don't want to hear it. I mean, Andy Reese. I don't care about you. I'm letting my boys sit. So yeah, we're gonna take this thumping and let Denver get in the play. We're not worried about Denver either. But Stu, what do you think, buddy?
Nah, it's no crying in baseball, as the saying goes. This is football. Definitely no crying. You got to take your lickings like a man, and
that's it.
Y'all should have went ahead, like Aaron stated. You should have started like that.
Yeah.
So now you can get some popcorn and enjoy the show like the 49ers. You can come to our house, we come to your house. We on the couch, baby. Team couch.
That's it. Get some popcorn and enjoy the show, man. It's just that simple. So anyway, I thought that was a funny headline. Now nobody's thinking about y'all, man. You had your chance. You blew it. You had a great year, and really nobody wanted to see you. And what if Kansas City felt that way? They're the big dogs on the block. They got a number one seed. They can do whatever they want to do. So you're not gonna worry me to death in the playoffs. So no, I don't blame them one bit. They need, like you said, you guys just go ahead and order your food and whatnot, and get your party plans together for the playoffs and enjoy the show, baby. So anyway, the Commanders 23-19 over the Cowboys. And I was looking at that game at one point. I actually thought Dallas had won the game. That's the thing about divisional matchups. You could throw records out. Mm-hmm. Believe me, this had nothing to do with on paper what the Commanders could do to a team like Dallas. Like they could beat them 50-3 on paper. But it's not only a divisional matchup, it's arguably one of the biggest rivalries in all of sports. I mean, you talk about Yankees, Red Sox, and Pistons, Bulls, and Lakers, all that stuff. But no, the Commanders won it. They get a 6th seed, and they're going to be going down to Tampa Bay for their first round game. I want to get back to the Bengals and Steelers, though, because now there's some concern about Pittsburgh. They lost their last 4 games as they go into the playoffs with the 7th seed in the AFC. And we were looking at Russell Wilson as a guy that had found the fountain of youth. I mean, he was balling out. And now the question is it time? I throw it out to you guys. I'll start with you, Too Tall. Is it time to go back to Justin Fields?
No, I don't think that's the problem. Some people saying it's deeper than the quarterback.
Yeah.
Like they got problems in their locker room. For some reason, they're saying getting rid of Tomlin. They saying the Steelers fans don't want him anymore. And George, for some reason, George Pickens, I don't know what's up with him, but his whole body language is stating
it's bad. It's really bad. Yeah,
it's real bad. And was it the last game? He had like 5 drops or something like that.
Yeah.
So I don't know what his mental state is or where they going. It's not now. Some people saying Wilson, but if your receiver dropping passes and you putting them in the money, I don't know what else more Wilson could do. I don't know.
Yeah.
What can he do? What can Justin do?
There's nothing more he can do. I mean,
I think he's playing the best he can. He's giving people opportunities. He's not making the plays. So
yeah.
But I will say this I will say this. If there's any coach in the NFL that could get them to play to get a win in this game, is Mike Tomlin.
I would agree with that. I think the knock on Tomlin is people around the league are saying is he's got too long of a leash with problem players. You go back to Antonio Brown, and certainly with Pickens. And I think there was, I don't know if it was Schuster or whoever it was before that that was a problem player. And Tomlin didn't deal with the situation. And Pickens is their problem right now. Let's just be real. When Pickens was balling out, Russell and Pickens, man, you couldn't do anything with Pittsburgh.
Mm-hmm.
But because of Pickens' attitude, he's not only gotten himself with, opposing players, he's gotten himself in trouble with his own team and his coach. And I think he's playing with an attitude right now. And he's like, I don't care anymore, and I'm not going to ball out for you. But that's just my personal take. Stu, what do you think?
Yeah, I think they should fire Mike Tomlin and send him to San Francisco. Shanahan will figure something out with him. Mike is Mike, man. I mean, when's the last time they had a losing record? I mean, come on. Pickens, you're getting paid. You're an NFL player. You're getting paid a lot of money. We don't want to hear this boohoo crying and sob stories. You got a job to do. Whatever issues you have off the field is what you have off the field. When you step on that field, you have a job to do. Your team is dependent on you to make plays to get to the next level. You guys are in the playoffs. It's no excuse. Wherever his head is, he needs to figure that out and get it fixed now, because you're entering into that one and done territory where you don't have another week to figure it out. If you lose, now you're out of there. So if he's that much of a problem, he's probably not going to be there next year. They'll probably figure out a way to trade him or whatever. But as far as the Russell Wilson thing, like as Aaron mentioned, I think it's a bigger issue than that. When your star receiver is not catching the ball and you depending on this man, and you're putting the ball there and he's dropping it, I wouldn't put that on Russ. That's more some internal things that they need to figure out, especially moving forward into this postseason. If Pickens doesn't need to play, they need to figure that out now. I'd rather have somebody who's not nowhere near as talented as him is going to catch the ball than somebody who's dropping wide open passes and stuff like that. So they need to figure out what's going to be the best thing moving forward for the team. But I don't think it's Russell Wilson is the issue.
Yeah. I was talking about the Commanders just prior to getting into the discussion here about their struggles with Dallas, and like it's just a divisional matchup. But let's understand, the Commanders are for real. They're 12-5. They do have a tall task in their first round, having to go down to Tampa Bay because the Bucs are balling and they are dangerous. But the Commanders, in my opinion, are a quiet 12-5. And I know that this is a question directly for you, Aaron, to start off with. Are the Commanders the quietest kept team in the NFC, capable of going on a Super Bowl run?
Yes. For that question, I would say yes, because we got number 5.
Yes, sir.
So when you got Super 5 back there, yeah, anything's possible. He's been proving that all year.
He has. He really has.
Shoot, he put a lot of games on his back, and he's been asked that question a lot. I just go out there and play, and if he feel like he need to make a play, he'll make a play. So with number 5, anything's possible, and he made me believe that through his play. So I would say we get past the Bucs. I don't know. I don't think Philly wants to see us. Because we know each other so well. So
they don't want to see the Commanders. No.
Yeah, so if we have to go to Philadelphia, that's not new territory for us. We already been to Tampa, and I think we got a little chip on our shoulder for Tampa because we believe that we could have beat them the first time, but we left points on the board. So I think we are a sleeper team. I tell you, I wouldn't be surprised if we are in the NFC Championship playing against the Lions.
I wouldn't be either. I would not be shocked.
I wouldn't have us beating the Lions, but I would say I wouldn't be shocked if we got there. And but only because we got Super 5 back there. And so
JD5, dude, let me tell you something. The Commanders are for real, and they can get on that run. I firmly believe that. Stu, what are your thoughts?
Yeah, I agree. They are one of those teams that you don't want to see because of the quarterback and the big playability he has and his ability to extend plays and just the mojo around that team and how they're playing right now. Because the better team can lose. I mean, you can feel like you're the bigger, better team, and you lose, and that's it. You're going home. You know, we remember what we saw Eli do, you know, in the postseason, creeping into it and winning the whole thing. So I definitely think that the Commanders do have a shot. They're capable with the play of that quarterback and with the experience, and especially from the coaching staff. And Dan Quinn wants another shot. I don't know if it's going to be this year or in the future, but you know, he's played in a big game and he wants to get back, and he has a quarterback and a team around him. He thinks he can do it. And I think that everyone in that locker room believes in themselves. And I think that they definitely are a team that you really don't want to see, because on their best day, they're capable of beating anybody.
Well, you know, I can tell you one person that would agree with you, and that's Jalen Hurts. But look, dude, I'll tell you right now, they put the damage on Jalen, and he is still out on concussion protocol. And they hit him 2 weeks ago, man. And there are levels to concussions. I mean, there are guys from back in the day before they had this protocol that said they were still walking around in fog for 6 weeks. So, I mean, it's not just one of those things where you can put some concussions you can come back from pretty quickly. But Jalen's still hurt. He has not. I don't know if you guys have heard anything as of now, but last I heard today, he had not cleared concussion protocol for the playoff game. So the Commanders did that, and the Commanders this is something that the Redskins, I call the Redskins, you call the football team, whatever. They will knock you out of a game. The Washington team will knock you out of a game. They have that rep. I don't know what it is, but they always have a dog or two on that team that will knock you out, dude. And so they have that element. And if I were Baker Mayfield, I'll just say one thing: duck. But let's keep it moving here and look at some other headlines. The Eagles beat the Giants, the poor Giants, 20-13. But it was interesting because Saquon Barkley had an opportunity to get the rushing record, and he decided he wasn't going to do it. Eric Dickerson holds it, and he said, "Nah, I'm not going to play." Do you agree, Tall, with his decision not to go for the record?
Well, first of all, I don't think it was his decision. I think it was the organization decision.
Okay.
And they said no because, and I think Saquon has that attitude too. I don't think he wanted to go in because I think in his mind it's more about team. Now the Tampa Bay Mike Evans ones, that I think that was a little bit different. I mean, because they was still playing to hold that seed, and he only needed 5 yards. I mean, Mike Evans needed 5 yards to break Jerry Rice's record. I think you give him that opportunity, and he's been playing the whole game anyway. But the Barkley went a little bit different because he needed like 100 and something yards. So that's the only thing you need to do is twist the ankle, and you're not 100%. You 70% going into a playoff game. So it's more about the team. They got Super Bowl on their mind. So I think it was the right decision. Again, he wanted it that bad. He should have got it early in the season. I mean,
right.
This is my opinion. If you wanted it and you knew it could have been a chance that this could happen, they sit you out, then you should have got it early in the season. So I think it was but I think he was fine with it because it's more about getting that ring than individual goals.
I would totally agree. Stu, what do you think, buddy?
Yeah, I don't agree with it, but as Aaron stated, I think that, you know, he's putting the team above his own personal goals. And, you know, he didn't want to risk getting injured and not being 100% going into the postseason because he knows that his team depends on him. In my opinion, he is the MVP of his team. So if he's not 100%, they're going like, oh, that was kind of selfish. But sometimes you got to be selfish, you know. I think he should have went for it. That feat in itself, regardless of all the talk about, oh, you played extra game and da. But back then they ran the ball more. I could easily say that. It was definitely not a passing league as it is now back then.
Not at all.
The fact that he's doing that in today's game makes it even that much more astonishing. And I feel like that's a once in a lifetime thing. You know, you're gonna forever be in Canton if you could do that. You know, chances of them winning the Super Bowl, who knows? But I commend him for doing what he felt was the right thing to do. And I think as a team, you know, everyone backed him and it's like, look, you want to do it? All right, you're gonna sit down, cool. We were hoping you was gonna say that anyway. You know, they were probably happy he said he's gonna sit down. So that way they don't have to risk that or have the stress or pressure of giving him the ball more than they would like to. If they had 20 or 25 times and it ended up being a 30, 35 time game, he takes a pounding heading into the postseason. So I think at the end of the day, I think ultimately it came down to what was in both their hearts. And I think that they made the right decision for them. So that's all that matters at the end of the day.
I think it was a good decision. I think, you know, you're talking about a meaningless game, a meaningless game that's still violent. It only takes one play to end it all. And why risk that when you have an opportunity to go to the Super Bowl? What's up, Aaron?
Think about this. So if I know they got the first seed already clinched up, right? And they playing me and I'm a defensive player, right? And I see Barkley warming up. And then I see him come out in his uniform. I'm like, oh, okay, he playing? Oh, you gonna try to get the record on us? Oh, no, you're not. No. So now
that's a possibility too.
Now I'm going harder. Okay. Every play I hit you, boom, you ain't getting that record today, bro. You might as well go to the sideline.
Yeah, that's a possibility.
You're not getting that record today.
Yeah.
You're gonna get hurt, boy. You better go to the sideline.
Exactly.
It's gonna be like that.
I mean, I agree with that. I totally agree with that. You know? And you talk, like I said, you're talking about a violent game, dude. And
you're talking about a violent game, and you know, boys out there, you ain't getting that record on us. So yeah, that would have been a dangerous call, in my opinion.
It would have, and I think ultimately the Chargers as an organization made the right decision. Let's switch gears and take a look at these playoffs we got coming up. AFC Saturday lineup at 4:30. We got the Chargers and the Texans. Now I got to ask you guys this: we never talk about the Chargers. Do we talk enough about the LA Chargers? Do they get the respect that they should get around the league?
You go, Aaron. You
go. I think they get the respect. I mean, especially because of Harbaugh. You know, they haven't really been in the big conversations, but you know, they haven't really played their best ball either. They played good football, but they're not world beaters or anything like that. They did, you know, make it into the postseason and stuff like that. So
yeah,
I think they've given the type of respect they've earned. You know, they're definitely an opponent that you have to respect when you see on your schedule, especially from the coach. He gets the respect. But as far as the same conversations that we speak of as the Ravens and the Chiefs and stuff like that from the AFC side, or Philly and Detroit from the NFC side, I don't think that they're in that type of conversation yet. But again, it's the postseason. Now it's the time to make a name for yourself. If they feel like, you know, we're not getting the same talk as the other teams, win some games in the playoffs. You will get that respect very fast. And people were saying how fast Harbaugh has turned around the organization as they're already talking. And you can take that momentum into next year, because I don't think they'll be making the Super Bowl this year.
I mean, they're a quiet 11-6, which is a pretty stout record. And we don't talk that much about them. I mean, you got the Chiefs over there in the AFC. You got the Bills over there in the AFC. You got the Ravens over there in the AFC. And then you got the Chargers. And you just look at them and you just go, well, it's not a bad team, but nothing really stands out about them. Too tall. What do you think?
I think they get respect. I just think they're not talked about as much. I think they get respect, one, because of Harbaugh. And I think everybody knows what kind of coach he is. Yeah. And everybody knows that when the Chargers come, Harbaugh gonna have them ready to play. So going to that aspect, I think they are. But to get the national respect, I think they got to win. Like Stu emphasized, they got to win them big games. Once they start winning them big games, they're in. I think then they start being more and more on that national level and being talked to. But I think especially within other coaches in the NFL, I think they get respect. But the national news, they just gotta win them games. And I think Harbaugh's gonna get them there.
Yeah. Well, I think he'll get him there, but I think they get very little respect. I don't think anybody really believes that they can do a whole lot. You look at, let's see, they've got that guy right there. He doesn't agree. And I don't think the Panama Canal agrees either. But anyway, that being said, the Houston Texans hosting the Chargers. Stu, what do you think about this matchup? 4:30 on Saturday.
It's a great game. It's a 50-50 game. It can go either way. The Texans are not playing how they did last year. They don't have that same momentum about themselves. If I had to put my money on either team, I would put it on the Chargers. Going into this game, I think they have more momentum. I think that, Houston, again, they're not playing their best ball. CJ kind of had a sophomore slump a little bit. Defensively, defensively, they're not playing up to par as they were last year. So I think the Chargers definitely, even though they're on the road, should be favored to win this game. But it's the playoffs. Can the Texans flip that light switch and turn it on for the postseason? Do they have that in them? That's what I'm the most curious to see, and see if they can get out and play some postseason football and show like, hey, we didn't have the best regular season, but we turning it up a notch for the postseason. I'm curious to see if CJ has that in him. I think he does, but it's a team sport. The coaches and everybody else in that locker room is going to have that same mentality going into that game, and they're playing against a coach and a team that's going to have that mentality. Harbaugh is going to have his troops ready to play. They're going to bring that nastiness. It is the postseason. Both coaches have experience in the postseason, so I'm curious to see how this one plays out.
Too tall. What do you think about this one? CJ is having some struggles this season, but they won their division. They're hosting the Chargers. It looks almost like an even matchup. It should be a good game to watch. What do you think, Too Tall?
I think I got the Chargers in this one. I don't see. I just don't see it, man. And I'm gonna tell you why. The reason I got the Chargers in this because out of the two quarterbacks, Herb was playing better. And I just don't see CJ turning on that light switch just after, just especially in the playoffs. Just turn it on like that, and now he's back to that level again he was playing before. I think he's gonna get there again, but I just don't think right now he's going, because I believe the Chargers are gonna put up some points. I think they're gonna put up some points, and I don't think that CJ is gonna be able to keep up with them. So out of the two quarterbacks, I think Herbert's playing better. I think Harbaugh's got them boys coming in that the world's against them. Nobody believes in them, and I think the Chargers are gonna come out swinging, and I just don't think the Texans are gonna be able to keep up with them.
Well, let's be real. And I hate saying this because I like CJ. Number one, the Texans have been playing like garbage. I mean, it's been bad, and the games they've won, I don't know. They've been playing some bad football. Now, CJ said recently he's a born-again Christian. Mm-hmm. And let's think about all the attention he's been getting. He's making big-time money. He's the dude out there in Houston, okay? And he said, I got to serve the – I don't remember his exact words, but, he said, I got 1 foot in the world and 1 foot in the church. He said that. At the podium. He said that. So it kind of let me a little bit into his world from that perspective as a Christian, that the world is kind of, messing with him. It's giving him a hard time. And we're seeing the evidence of it on the field. Now, His line's terrible. He's had injuries to key players, and he's had to kind of like, bailing, spitting bailing wire is basically what the Texans have had to do to get through this season, and they still won it. But CJ has just not been that same guy. And I thought it was pretty good of him to say that I got one foot in the world and one in the church, and that's got to change. I thought that was pretty awesome of him to do that. But I think that, like I said, it's hard. The fame and fortune of being an NFL quarterback on a team like Houston, it's a lot of stuff going on. So that being said, I think the Chargers will go in there, to your point, Aaron, and get them. Stu, did you comment on this game?
Yes.
Okay. As to white hairs, man, I can't remember stuff. So anyway, let's look at the 8 p.m. game, Pittsburgh and Baltimore. Now, look, this game right here is blood and guts. And from my understanding, the Ravens have beaten, correct me if I'm wrong, Pittsburgh 4 times, or they've played 4 times in postseason. And I think that the Ravens have won 3 or the Steelers have won 3. I don't know what the records are. I think you throw the records out because this is a blood and guts ball game, and the Steelers can go in here and win this game. And this is where Lamar Jackson is coming right out of the gate with the responsibility of handling his business. Too tall. What do you think?
Yes, I got the Baltimore winning this one.
Okay.
And, here's one thing, because it's going to be moments in this game with things not going right for Baltimore. It's going to be moments in this game with things not going right for the Steelers.
Yeah.
And the thing is the ones who's going to keep their head.
Yeah.
And it don't look like Pickens going to keep his head.
No.
Look like,
Not at all.
It don't look like it. And you think it's psychology too in this. You think them DBs and them defensive players ain't seeing how he reacting on the field?
Oh yeah, 100%.
No. So one thing they're gonna be chirping in his ear. They're gonna be telling him, "Hey man, you might as well go sit down, bro. You don't got it."
Oh yeah, they're gonna be messing with him. Ain't no question about that.
They're gonna be messing with him. So and that might get in his head. That might get in his head.
Hey, you know what, dude? And that's why I miss Jair Alexander, because he would take the top receiver out just by jaw jacking.
So
you know what I'm saying? Plus, he's a top athlete. But anyway, I agree with you about Sam Pickens. That's what they're going to do.
And once Baltimore get a lead, they're just gonna give it to the truck in the back, and they're just gonna let him finish the game. They're just gonna let him finish the game, and I don't think Steelers gonna be able to do anything about it. So yeah, I think Pittsburgh gonna roll with this. I mean, Ravens gonna roll with this one.
Stu, what do you think, buddy?
I think the Ravens are in trouble. Russell Wilson.
Oh,
he was down there with Bobby Flay at his cooking school. So nah, man, I got Baltimore doing what they supposed to do. Like as Aaron stated, having that issue with your number one receiver and quarterback, you're going to need everyone to be on the same page, clicking, rolling into the postseason.
Yeah.
And the Ravens are rolling. And if you're not right, you're going to get ran over. And I believe that's what's going to happen. Not a blowout. I believe Pittsburgh is going to fight. They always come to fight, but I don't think they have what it takes to win this one when you have some turmoil in the locker room. Last week, from what I saw, Mike gave everybody some black Air Forces, some Air Force Ones, and that's supposed to, everybody know you put them black Air Force Ones on, you ready to fight. They still got beat up. So it's like, I mean, what can you if they don't respond to the black Air Forces, you playing against this Ravens team in the postseason, as Aaron stated, they got a Mack truck back there, and you running against these guys. I think it's going to be nasty, especially if they get up fast. If they get up early and just pound the rock in the end, it's going to be a nasty game. So I got Baltimore taking care of business.
Okay, that's going to be at 8:00 on Prime Video on Saturday, and on Sunday we got Denver going into Buffalo. So they got what they wanted. Kansas City laid down for them so they can get in, and they go into Buffalo. Too Tall, what you think about this one?
I think Denver about to go back home.
Okay.
Yeah. I don't know why people believe that Denver actually has a chance of beating Buffalo. Because I don't see it. I think Josh Allen and Buffalo Bills, he's gonna put the cape on again, and hopefully he's not in the hospital like you say, all laid up. But
it's coming. It might be the next game. It might be the Super Bowl, but I hate to say yes.
But he gonna use his arm. He gonna use his legs. And I think they're gonna come after that boy, man. I think they're gonna come after both.
Oh yeah,
they're gonna come after him. They ain't gonna let him sit back there, and they're gonna make sure if they do get a chance, it's gonna have to be with his arm.
Yeah,
they're not gonna allow them to run the ball, so they're gonna come after him. They're gonna show him coverages he probably not even seen. Yeah. And I know they're gonna be ready for him. And going to Buffalo is a hostile environment.
It is.
It's not an easy place to play.
Bills Mafia, dude.
Yeah, Bills Mafia gonna be out there. It's gonna be cold. It's gonna be a rough spot for a rookie to be, man. And and I don't see them coming out with a victory. I won't be surprised if this is a blowout, to tell you the truth.
Stu, what are your thoughts on this one, brother?
Man, it's gonna be a good game. We know who the star is with the cape, but that defense, man, that Denver defense is for real. Regardless of what they got on the quarterback side with the rookie and all that, and he's been playing a lot better than when he started out. I think it's going to be a lot closer than what a lot of people think, just because of Denver's defense and the ability to the cornerbacks, everything to get after the passer, the quarterback. He's going to have to put on that cape. He doesn't want to end up in the hospital, but it's the postseason, so everything is on the line. So
exactly.
Of course, the Bills should be favored, as they should at home. It's going to be cold. But this Denver team is coming in there as the underdogs. Nobody's expecting too much for them. And they may wreck havoc. They may wreck the whole thing. They may, as far as, people got the pick'ems and stuff like that, they may wreck a couple people's sheets. I'm going to go with Buffalo. But don't be surprised if Denver gives them everything they're asking for.
This is a dangerous game for Buffalo. And I expect them to win, as you two have stated. I agree with both of you, but this is a dangerous game because Denver is a team, like, if you don't make sure that your A game is fully intact, they will beat you. And they have the kind of defense that can put Allen in one of those special rooms at the local hospital. So Buffalo needs to make sure that they don't make a ton of mindless mistakes because they don't have a lot of respect for this team.
But here's the thing. Here's going to be the problem. Okay. Yes, Denver does have an amazing defense, and they can produce problems. The problem is, are they going to have the energy to do that? Because I don't believe that the Denver's offense is going to give that defense time to rest. I think it's going to be a lot of 3 and outs for Denver. And I think that defense is going to have to get right back up and come on the field. Get right back up, come on the field. They got 1 first down. Oh, shoot, we back up again. Come right back up, get on the field. And they're going to get tired. I don't have faith in that offense of Denver. And I don't believe that that offense is going to give that defense enough time to rest to keep up with the cape. And that's why I say that that I think this is going to be a blowout.
Well, I don't. It could be, but I think Josh is going to put a lot of pressure on Denver. I agree with that. There's no question about that. Short of him going to the hospital, they could blow them out. Let me switch over to the 4:30 game. Green Bay goes to Philadelphia, and they're saying Jalen Hurts may not be available. Stu, your thoughts on this one?
Wow, that's interesting. What about your quarterback? Is he going to play?
Jordan Love seems to be good to go for this one. He hurt his elbow in the first quarter. They said he could have gone back in. They elected to leave him on the bench and save him for postseason. So seems like he's going to be good to go.
I would say this. If Jalen Hurts doesn't play, I got Green Bay.
Okay.
I think that the big thing that you guys have that they have as well, but without the quarterback, your running game. We all know Saquon Barkley's the star of the show. He can run, but Jacobs can run that ball, and in the postseason, you're going to need that, take that pressure off the quarterback. And I think it's going to come to a couple plays that, Love is going to be able to make that their backup can't make. It's going to come down to that 1 3rd down, 3rd and 7 when you need this. And I believe that, you're going to be able to make that play where they aren't. If Hurts is playing, I think I would go with Philly because they have their full team. But without Hurts and them playing with a backup quarterback, even though he's been playing decent, I think that Green Bay has enough to get this done. And I think a lot of teams would be happy if the Packers are able to knock out the Philadelphia Eagles.
Too Tall, your thoughts on this matchup in Philly?
This is very interesting, but I think what hurt Green Bay was that injury to the receiver.
Yeah.
I think that right there, that because that hinders that offense, and it's now they could have somebody else step up, but I think even without Hurts, I think even with Kenny Pickett, Eagles have so many weapons. I think they still would be able to do enough with Saquon and to get a victory. I think Saquon, like, look, if Hurts don't play Pickett, hey, give me the rock. I'm gonna take us there. I think he got that mentality where you can give him the ball 30 times and he may rush for 200 yards.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So, and then you still got Brown. I think Kenny Pickett's playing decent enough as long as he don't turn the ball over. I mean, he can't turn the ball over. We've seen him do that, but I think he's playing decent enough that where they have so many weapons around him where they could support Kenny Pickett. They could support Pickett and help him get past this, at least Green Bay. Now, further than that, I don't know. But I think Green Bay is so banged up, and especially that loss to the receiver. But I think it's going to be a close game. I don't think it's going to be no breeze. And but I still think with Kenny Pickett, I think Philly could get past Green Bay.
As long as they have Saquon Barkley, Carson Wentz can win this game. Let's look at the Commanders and the Bucks.
I don't know about that.
The Commanders and the Bucks at 8 p.m. on NBC Paramount. Stu, what do you think about this one?
I think the Commanders got it. It's not going to be easy. It's a postseason play. But I think that Five and everybody else going down there, they're going to handle business. They're going to make the big plays. The Bucks are a decent team, but they're not world beaters. I think the Commanders can be able to go on the road and get a playoff victory. The city, DC, DMV, everybody the city gonna be on fire.
It's gonna be lit.
It's gonna be lit, definitely. But I think that they can get this out the way. I'm glad for them that they positioned the way that they have, so they didn't have to play Philly week 1. But even then, if Hurts is not playing week 1 against this Commanders team, I think they could beat Philly. So either way you look at it, I think that they can go in there and get it done on the road.
Too Tall, this is your group, your squad. What you got?
It's gonna be a tough one. Baker Mayfield's playing lights out. They got a nice running game. They got studs at the receiver. I think we can't let Baker get comfortable. We can't let him get comfortable. The first game we had him sacked plenty of times. It's just he was able to get out of it. Like, he's not a small guy, and so he was able to get out of that. But I think that I told you this before the show, but the major matchup in my mind is Lattimore and I forgot
Mike Evans.
Mike Evans. Lattimore and Mike Evans. I think that matchup right there may be the determining factor of this game. And
could be.
Because I think if Lattimore is able to shut down Mike Evans, I think that would help our offense, our defense a lot. And I think we'd be able to do a lot more to get Baker Mayfield out of his game. And because I'm not really concerned about the offense. I think I'm more concerned about the defense and stopping that passing game. Because now we're not the same team as week 1, but I do believe we can beat, but I think it depends on how well our defense plays in this game for us to win this game.
I think
We've got about
too much
4
respect.
minutes. I'm sorry, what's that? What did you say, Stu?
I said I think you're giving them too much respect.
Okay.
I mean,
Nah.
8-7. It is the postseason. With 8-7, barely made it in. Weak division, weak schedule. They lost to the Cowboys 24-26 2 weeks ago. They're beating teams like the Panthers and so and so.
Stu, they went to Detroit and beat them. No one other than Buffalo's done that this year.
Yeah. Every now and then, you see a shooting star. Things happen. But for the most part, when you look at their schedule, it's like, Panthers, this. Okay, you lost to the Cowboys. Okay, what does that say then if you lose to the Cowboys but you beat Detroit? You know what I'm saying? Like, it's they're not a very good team. Their record says it. Commanders are definitely, as we mentioned earlier, 12-5. They earned that respect, even though we're not really giving it to them just yet. But quiet as kept, the Commanders have earned that respect with their record. 12-5 in another division, you're winning that division. It's just they're in the tough division. But it is the postseason. I think that it's going to be tough, but I think the Commanders got this one in the bag.
I think they do. I just think they have to be careful.
Yeah.
I mean, the Bucs will get you. I mean, as I was saying earlier about Denver and Buffalo, if you don't, you got to make sure that your game's intact. You're not making a lot of dumb mistakes because you don't have a lot of respect for them. You do that, you're going to lose the game. Against teams like that, you're going to lose. So they need to just make sure they go and handle their business. And you're correct. They should have no problem, slapping them around. On Monday night, we got the Vikings and Rams, and we got to do this real quick. Got to get out of here, but I'm going to go with Stu. Real quick, your thoughts on this matchup? Monday night, 8:00 on ESPN ABC.
Man, good game. If Sam Darnold has shown up, the Rams win this game. If that was a fluke last week and Minnesota plays the way that they have been playing majority of the season, the Vikings win this game. It's going to come down to moments and who can win in those moments. We know who the better quarterback is, and it's on the Rams team. And he's won a Super Bowl. He knows how to play in those big moments. Sean McVay knows how to coach in those big moments. So I would favor the Rams in this matchup, even though I would say overall Minnesota has a better team. But don't sleep on these Rams. They've been there. They've won in these big games. And they're at home, so I think that the Rams. I'm picking the Rams to win an upset on this game.
Too Tall, real quick, your thoughts on this matchup?
Stu know I love some McVay. Pause. But I like McVay, but I gotta go with Minnesota on this one. I think they're gonna bounce back, and I think Minnesota gonna pull it out.
Not only that, I think they can go in there and just slap them around. I think they're just going to just dominate them. So I got the Vikings winning this. I agree with you what you said earlier, Too Tall, about Sam Darnold it being an outlier, the performance being an outlier last week. That's just one of them things. You're playing the Detroit Lions in Detroit, and he just didn't have a good game, and they were ready for him. But I don't expect that to happen at SoFi on Monday night. With that being said, we're going to have to get out of here. If you've enjoyed this show, everybody, subscribe and share it. Subscribe to the Maurice Brown Comedy Channel, and also you can listen to it on Spotify, bogradio.fm every Monday through Friday at 9 a.m. Eastern, and also KCHFTV11.org in Albuquerque, New Mexico, every Sunday night at 9 p.m. Mountain Time. We got to get out of here. May the peace of Christ be with you and your families, guys. God bless you.